Hey, it's Ed here. Today we're taking a look at technical analysis for Ethereum with Elliott Wave Theory. Today we're going to be looking into the smaller timeframes here, but first of course checking out the macro picture first, just to make sure that we are all on the same page. Now here, looking at the daily timeframe, looking at RSI first, we've noticed that we had this bearish divergence coming across here on daily timeframe, and again the indicator that I'm using, HRSI, is having again these areas of oversold marked here by the red background, and this is where we actually had the move downwards again coming from. We did also have these divergences all the way from these peaks, but again we did not have an oversold condition here on daily, so again a more larger move was not expected before this. At this point again, if we close below here of around the let's see, the $52 area, or 52 RSI reading area, we would be having a bullish divergence here. So again, that is something to note with, but again, it's not really on daily time frame. It's not that useful as of yet, because we don't have that print of these basically these more oversold conditions. But yeah, that's RSI. Let's not get too much into it at the moment. The higher time frame bias to me has been that this was a three-way structure. I don't see this as a 5 of any kind. To me, this is a clear three-way structure coming down into the lows of June 2022. We went through this past on the live stream as well, so there's some analysis there as well if you're interested in that. Now let's get deeper into this count that I've been following, and again some of the altcoins are showing us this as well. A bit different structures on altcoins than this one. Than on ETH. ETH has a very decent looking structure to be even bullish at this point. Of course, would I be buying here? Not at least in this high time frame, but again smaller time frames, if there are certain opportunities, then I might be interested. But let's take a look at the counts. Bullish count is saying this, where we have this as an wave A, B, and then looking for C. At the moment, we have yet to hit the 1-to-1 extension in price. This has started to take quite a long time already in completion. We still have these divergences formed here on for our time frame as well as with that daily as mentioned before. So let's take a look at some of these smaller time frames in a bit once we've gone through this bearish count as well. In this one again, instead of wave A being here, this would be a wave W and then X and then looking for wave Y. This is a possibility where we have now completed this whole structure, and now we would be looking to create a continuation to the downside. Again, this is the way more bearish count than the bullish count. In this one again, we would be looking for a partner like basically for this one here over here. And again, what this would be bringing us towards to this consolidation around $500 to $300. Again, I know that is a massive idea here at this moment, another 70% from current prices, just as we were starting to feel bullish. But again, this has been the bias that I've been looking for, creating a three-way structure to the upside, and then once people are starting to get back into the so-called bullish rhythm and thinking that the bear market is officially over, well, then the rug is pulled again and down we go. So if that happens, then it happens. I'm playing just the counts that we have locally. I don't really care about the higher time frame. Of course, I do have higher time frame investments, so of course by that mean I would like and obviously love the bullish outlook, which would not be this. But yeah, that's that. That's the bear idea, as real as it gets. Yeah, I mentioned the bullish scenario here. Let's take a look at some of these substructures here. The impulse wave count in this one could be something like this. Now, in this one again, we would have this as a 5-way structure into wave 1. As we are looking for a 5-way structure here for that C, I would be labeling this as wave 1, 2, and then I have an issue here. To me, this is so much better looking in 3 waves. I tried to get some kind of diagonal here. This looked very nice for a diagonal. I was expecting, or I was looking for this potential end here, or even a 1-2, 1-2 structure here, but we just ripped through here. Now at this moment it looks way better as a three-way structure, unfortunately. but I can't really get a 5-wave structure in here to be labeled very well. Sure, there are some 5-wave-ish looking structures over here, but I'm not quite sure how those are fitting into the other count that we have here. This looks like a 5-wave structure in here, either ending at these highs or these highs. Some kind of structure here. This looks like a 3. I don't know how that fits too well, but I mean, if we could be just labeling it something like this, where we have a 3, 3, and then very small 3. Again, it's really out of proportion, really creating this very weird running flat feeling. I don't really like it. I'm just not quite sure how I would be labeling this at this point for the bullish count. Again, for the bearish count, we can easily just label it in 3. For the bull count, we would need to get this into a 5-wave. If you have some way to label it, let me know, because I'm definitely interested in that. Then we have the other kind of possibility here, in which again we are looking for a diagonal here. At this point, we would have to be kind of creative at this point and have either wave C ending at these highs here, and have this wave 1 here. Then we would have to basically force this trend line to start here. I'm not really a fan of this at this point. We would have to accept that this is a massive extension here on C wave. Comparing that to A wave, we can see that is well beyond the 1.618, making it less likely, not impossible or invalid by any means, but it's just less probable. Here a 3-wave structure is fine, but if we don't label the wave 1 here, we would have to accept again those flats in diagonals, which is something that I have still issues with. So if you're fine with that, you could be labeling wave 1 in here, a 3-wave pullback of any kind, I guess, for that wave 2, and then another 3-wave structure up. This fits very well as mentioned. Extensions are pretty decent here in comparison to any kind of 5-wave structure. So yeah, that's that. The other way of looking at this is that instead of looking at this as a 3rd wave, because it is already larger than the 1st wave, even if we are labeling it from here, as you can see, it goes well beyond the 1-to-1. So 3rd wave is actually larger. So we would have to expect an expanding diagonal here, which is something that I never expect. If it happens, but I don't expect it. So instead of this being a 3rd wave of anything, I would be looking for this as the wave 1. So this would become a WXY like we had on the bear scenario here. Let's see if I can bring that up. So from here on out, we would have a 3, 3, 3 into a wave 1. And then we'd be looking for wave 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we would have a diagonal over here. For sure, this is a massive diagonal. This would be taking so long, just doesn't really make too much sense comparing that to this wave W. That is the only issue that I have with this count, is the time proportions that we have. So ETH again, same as Bitcoin, is not the clearest how we are going to have the higher time frame. But this is one of the suggestions that I have for the bullish count. How can we actually climb up still? And this is one way of looking at it. So that's basically that. Now at this moment, again, if this indeed was a wave 1, we'd be looking for wave 2 of some kind of structure here. And we have started the structure with a 5-wave structure. Let's take a closer look on the smaller time frame to see what we actually have here. Now this 5-wave that I'm proposing here is fitting towards the both bullish and the bearish count, both the diagonal idea and that this would be an end of that wave WXY. Both, again, we would start something new, and in this scenario it would be a 5-wave structure, either wave A or wave 1. So in this one I've labeled again this as a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into a 3rd, 4th, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Looking for one more low here on ETH. We still have that divergence again locally from 3rd to the 3rd of 5th, like that. Now we are looking for that divergence between 3rd of 3rd and the 3rd of 5th, and the 3rd of 5th here, and the 5th of 5th. So again, one more low I would be looking for here. And then again, we'd be looking for a correction here. And if we are looking at time analysis, looking for towards Monday areas here, it would be fitting pretty decently if we are just finishing this structure here today, and we are just doing some kind of sideways structure up until to the start of next week. At that point again, we could be looking to create this wave 2 or wave B for more short opportunities. If we are just looking at this possibility of ending somewhere around here, we are right at basically the some of the main targets that we have here based on the wave 1-2 here. Of course, if we are comparing wave 1 here to wave 4, we're looking for that 1-to-1 extension, which would be 1885. That would be main area of interest. Other one would be 1.618, which would be fitting the area here. This liquidity, there's of course liquidity here as well, but if this is a diagonal, I don't see us doing this. So again, if this is something else, we could have an extension on fifth here as a 1-2, 1-2, 3-4-5, 3-4-5, and then we would be somewhere around here at the 1.618. But we don't need to be talking about that at this point, as I don't really have any clear clarification or reason why I would be expecting that. But yeah, that would be the idea here for ETH. Let's check out BNB here as well. BNB, we had an alert on Discord about this here on CTC Discord about the shorts by Addy having this as a potential 1-2, 3-4-5. We came down, and now we're looking at possible reversals here. We had divergences here between the 3rd of 3rd and the 5th of 3rd, and then we had divergences here, but we had divergences here as well very locally. So again, some kind of point of reversal. At this point again, I was looking at some kind of diagonal possibility here. Small 3-wave, almost taking out the lows, but before that we made a massive move to the upside. I'm still in this long setup here, but we'll see how this turns out. Again, this was very bullish of a move to the upside, so I wonder if this is actually a 5-wave structure at all. It came down in a very nice 5-wave. We had the fair value gaps here in the middle of 3rd wave, which is expected, and then we started to create these 3s and 4s here. So again, it has all the characteristics it needs. However, I'm not sure if this potential 5-wave here has something to do with or has anything to say against this, because again, if we have a 5-wave structure here, the expectation is a continuation after a correction. At this point again, we have created a potential 1, 2, 3, 4, and maybe 5, one high here, then a correction for that, and then up in 5. This would need to be not too extended, this last leg, and the lower this correction gets here, the better chance it has to stay out of these highs. So again, you would have opportunities here on the long side when this comes down, and also on the short side once we go up and we are getting back towards the major areas of resistance somewhere around here to the shorts. So again, those are the ideas that I would be looking for potentially during the weekend, even though if you might not be trading there, but it's some of the ideas there. But yeah, those are the things that I'm looking at this moment. Other assets that I was looking at was AVAX, for example. I was looking at this as a potential 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 here, coming down in a diagonal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We had a reaction here, but it was in 3 waves. This was of course very much an extension here, but I don't really, we'd never got a 5th wave here. So in my opinion, again, this looks more like a 3 here, although this is very extended as mentioned. 1, 2, potential 3, 4, 5, again, it's not even really there. This was happening during the BNB pump, so again, take that as you wish. This whole thing is not a 5-wave move from the lows though, so keep that in mind. A 3-wave it is, so again, I'm not really interested in going long at this point. Of course, this could be turning into a diagonal at some point, but invalidation at this low still. So those are the things that I would be looking for during the weekend, and overall, of course, on ETH, how the higher time frame plan works into the smaller time frames. Again, if you made it this far into the video, I would appreciate the likes and comments on this video. Check out the free Discord server as well. If you want to educate yourself, check out the following advertisements. But again, thanks for watching and see you on the next video. Bye bye. Couple of advertisements here: Patreon Elliott Wave Basics course, weekly live streams and more Elliott Wave analyzers. Udemy Elliott Wave Advanced course, including RSI, risk management, Elliott Wave strategies and time analysis, and candle trend capital, trade setups, education and community. Check us out if you're interested in learning more.